Hey, Shalom, Malcolm, Vakama Kapash from GMS London, giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, Bashem Chakodash. When they give double honors unto the elders, the apostles of GMS, and Shalom out there to the hopeful elect, preaching his truth in all sincerity. Back again with another video. Got another article here. Okay, bro's posting in the chat, right? And Europe getting hit with Arctic blasts, right? More Arctic blasts, man. Because as we're gonna read through, man, this ain't the first time, ain't gonna be the last time. And yeah, the Most High really doing a number on crops and the like, right? Adding to the building pressure of food scarcity, and and this has been a continual thing that's been growing over the years, because we keep telling you, we teach that there's going to be a famine in the land soon, a lack of food, right? Lack of bread, okay, lack of victuals, okay. And it's the Most High that's behind all of these things, right? Now, some people might want to blame, because he's still got the whole global warming agenda, right? So they might want to blame it on that or whatever, man. But end of the day, it's the Most High that is causing these things to happen there, and their judgments, okay, their curses and their judgments against the inhabitants of the earth, man, to bring around the destruction of this kingdom. All right. So without further ado, we're gonna read a little bit of this article and we're gonna grab some scriptures, right? So here from Strange Sounds, okay, it says record-setting Arctic blast hits Europe, stunning spring crops. All right, you see that coldness all around Europe. Okay, where a lot of this stuff comes from, man. Like the world's these nations like UK, US, they're major importers of from these places. All right, so it's affecting the global economy, global food supplies, right? This is a historically intense April cold snap has descended on Europe, with temperatures plummeting to 20 to 30 degrees below normal. The record-breaking cold has triggered harsh frosts, shocking early blooming plants and crops in several countries. The unseasonably cold weather, which arrived over the weekend, follows warmer than normal temperatures in previous weeks that caused a rapid greening of flora, particularly in France's agricultural regions. It's still difficult to evaluate the damage caused by the frost, where orchards, fruits such as plum trees, apricots, cherries, and vineyards have been impacted. As climate scientists are concerned that warming late winter and early spring temperatures are increasing the frequency of false springs, which spur earlier vegetation green up before the threat has passed off frigid temperatures that can wipe out young vulnerable plants. Right, so this fluctuation in weather we're having, right, due to because it was over here in the UK, down in London, right, it got warm all of a sudden, for a few days, right, it got warm, right, but this warmth that came, kind of activating the plants, right, activating the crops, and they start to bud and stuff, right, but then this weekend, last few days, man, it's been cold. Right, so it's opened up these plants to, they're being made vulnerable. All right, and so they're being destroyed essentially. All right, or being kept, if they hadn't budded, being kept in a sleeping state, so to speak. Right. Says weather maps showed a spiraling region of unseasonably cold conditions from Portugal to western Russia. The biggest temperature differences from normal was centered between Spain and Germany, with France hit hardest. Warm winter conditions probably made crops more vulnerable to frost. In Germany, winter was warmer than normal and recorded nearly 20 more frost-free days than in an average year. Says European Commission's monthly crop monitoring bulletin, frost tolerance is rather weak, making crops susceptible to freezing temperatures in Germany. This is Serge Zucker, an expert in climate and agriculture in France, said in a Twitter thread that the recent freezing weather is very damaging and the situation could lead to a national agricultural devastation similar to 1991 and 2021. Okay, which was like last year. Right, that wasn't long ago, right? And this is what they've been saying, right? It's well, it says a second straight full spring in Europe, right? But from what this guy's saying, it also happened in 1991 too. All right, so I say it ain't the first time, and it ain't gonna be the last either, right? Second straight full spring in Europe says it is the second straight year that a harsh cold spell has arrived after an unusually early spring bloom. Last year, parts of Europe experienced their warmest March on record before a record cold arrived in early April. Switzerland and Slovenia registered record April low temperatures. Many locations in France endured their coldest April weather on record. Right, the April cold snap in 2020 was devastating for French wine growers, leading to 2.4 billion in damage, according to the Associated Press. Some vineyards lost 80% of their grapes. Right, that's a lot, right? It's a lot, you know. But like I said, it's the Most High that is causing these things to happen, man. Because like I said, the Most High is gonna set up a situation, right? Set up a calamity, a fall, right? And attacking all these things, you know. And this is just food, you know. There's the multiple ways to attack the food, and the Most High is doing all these things, man. You know. Let you know that's without all the other issues that are going on. That's going on right now. And the Most High is attacking on from all sides. You know. Says, however, the effects of the current cold wave in France may be less severe than in 2021 because of the timing and coverage. This year, the cold spell occurred a few days earlier, and vegetation growth, especially for vines, was less advanced. Many buds are still not open. The cold wave also seems to be less extensive. He said. He also said wine growers learned from last year's devastating freeze. Now that they have better monitoring of the frosted plots, they prune their vineyards later and put up more protection. Well, they can do that, but ultimately, okay, they're not going to stay with the Most High, right? This is some French vintners, okay, I had that word before, are lighting large candles or using sprinklers for the grapevines. All right, so okay, let me get that part as well. Okay, yeah, okay. It says the fruit tree growers and grapevine growers are afraid of this kind of damage. It's starting to be quite regular, okay, because things are increasing. The Most High is bringing more plagues, more curses, more judgments upon the earth. Okay, that's why things are becoming more frequent. Esau will tell you, oh, it's because of the because of climate change or whatever, right? That's what he'll tell you. That's why it's happening more frequently, right? But that's not the case, man. You know, all these are just signs of the end. All right. It says it was about 4 times, maybe in the last 5 years or so, near the Rhone River in eastern France near Bordeaux. It's part of the normal agricultural life to have frost events, but also we have had the abnormal warmer winter temperature that increases the vulnerability of the plants. Fall springs have caused agricultural damage not only in Europe in recent years, but also in several parts of the United States. Okay, another major place of exporting of goods, of food and grain and all that kind of business, right? So if those flower buds get hit by frost, they don't regenerate that spring, and they don't regenerate for the whole year. They're out of the game. Okay, you have to wait till next year. All right, it says there's been in recent years some really devastating impacts where we've had early warmth followed by frost, then total loss of crops. All right. So I said that's what the Most High is doing out here, man. Okay, but the average person, wouldn't pay attention to nothing like this. All they're concerned right now is whatever's being pumped on the mainstream news, which is, Russia and Ukraine, and that's all they probably know right now, for the most part, for the majority of people. Right, but that's why they're not able to add all these things together. This is why they can't see that this is end time prophecy that's coming to pass. They're very, in a bubble, narrow-minded, in a bubble. They can't put it all together. They don't understand, right? But the men of the Lord have been given eyes to see and ears to hear. Okay, and we put it all together, man. We're commanded to be circumspect. So we watch for all these things, man. All these things concerning prophecy, we watch for. You know, and how it's playing out. You know. Let's get some scriptures now, right? I'm gonna start here in 2 Ezra 15, verse 11. It says, "But I will bring them with a mighty hand and with a stretched out arm, and smite Egypt with plagues as before, and will destroy all the land thereof." Right? The Most High is coming to judge this place once again. You know, modern day Egypt being America, right? But this whole kingdom under Esau's rulership, man, is gonna get cursed. It's gonna get judged, and plagues are gonna fall upon it. They've been falling upon it, right? Because the Most High's intent is to destroy this place, right? And he's going to deliver his people out of the land, out of the hand of these Edomites, out of the hand of our enemies, just like the Lord delivered us out of the hand of the Egyptians, you know? Verse 12 says, "Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and punishment that the Most High shall bring upon it. They that till the ground shall mourn," right? This is what these men are doing. They're mourning right now. They're complaining. They're, you know, they're losing business, you know, so they're mourning. It says, "For the seed shall fail through the blasting and hail," Artic blast. It's just right there in the scripture, right? "And with a fearful constellation." Right, woe to the world that dwell therein. All right, because it's that time. It's that time that we're living in right now. You know, but like I said, it's the Most High that is causing all these things to happen. Okay, which is what I'm gonna get into now with it, right? And this is from Joel 37, verse 5. It says, "God thundereth marvelously with his voice. He great things doeth he, which we cannot comprehend. For he saith to the snow, Be thou on the earth, likewise to the small rain, and to the great rain of his strength. He sealeth up the hand of every man, that all men may know his work. Then the beasts go into dens and remain in their places." Right, all the season changes, right? The Most High is controlling, you know, when certain animals do certain things, you know. Hey, he controls when you go out to plant, you know, when you go plant your crops. He controls all the things, man. You don't even consider these things. Like, he's the reason why you do what you do when you do it. You know, he's the one that calls the rain to come down, or whether it don't go down. You know, whether the wind blows or don't blow. Okay, the Most High is in control of all of this. All right, but most people wouldn't consider none of that. All right, verse 9 says, "Out of the south cometh the whirlwind, and cold out of the north. By the breath of the Most High frost is given." Right, so this frost, this coldness, okay, that's damaging and destroying crops right now. It's the Most High that spoke it. He commanded it to happen, to destroy those vineyards and whatnot. Right. See, by the breath of the Most High, frost is given, and the breadth of the waters is straightened. All right, was that it on that? So also by watering he weareth the thick cloud, he scattereth his bright cloud. Oh yeah, okay, yep. I knew there's more. "And it is turned around by his counsels, that they may do whatsoever he commandeth them upon the face of the earth, in the face of the world in the earth." Right, so the Most High manipulating all these things, man, controlling all these things, giving commandments to do certain things. Right, verse 13, and here's the point on this as well, right? "He causeth it to come, whether for correction, or for his land, or for mercy." Right, and right now, you know, this world is getting judged, is getting cursed, right? And you're being punished for your transgression because this place is wicked, right? But these people consider it not, you know. So really, it should be for correction, right? But these people are not going to hear that correction. Right? This is 2 Ezra chapter 16, verse 19. It says, "Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment." This is nothing but a scourge the Most High has sent. Right? Verse 20, "But for all these things they should not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges, right? So it should be there for correction. You know, people should take notice of what's going on. Oh damn, like, you know, the Most High cursed our crops. He sent the frost to destroy our crops. Now we need to, you know, repent and pray to the Heavenly Father that He forgive us, man, and that He give us a good harvest. That's what should be going on. You know, instead of a sacrifice and that. But that these people, nah, you're not gonna see none of that. These people ain't repenting. These people ain't giving no credit to the Most High for anything. All right, so that's why they're stuck in their ignorance, and they're just gonna continue getting judged, getting plagued until they're destroyed. Okay, that's why it's happening more regularly, more frequently for them. All right. This is Isaiah 55, reading from verse 10, right? It says, "For as the rain cometh down, and the snow from heaven, and returneth not hither, but watereth the earth, and maketh it bring forth and bud, that it may give seed to the sower and bread to the eater." Right? So it's the Most High really controls whether or not that happens or not. Right? Like I say, He can bless your crops and have them grow. But He can also do the opposite. He can curse your crops and they don't grow. You know, you don't get to reap them. Alright? "So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth, it shall not return unto me void." Okay, so if the Most High said, you know, send that Arctic blast and destroy them crops, that's what happens, man. That's what it does. That's what happens to that crops, and you don't get to reap. Now, you know, you're sobbing that, you know, one, you know, you ain't gonna make that much money that year or whatever, or nationally that you ain't got enough food or whatever, you know. And that's the point where it's gonna get to, man. People are gonna be crying the fact that there's no food or lack of food, man, to feed people. Okay, this is why this is all happening. Okay, and in the meanwhile, all the prices are going up because you know, these things are becoming more and more scarce. Okay, limited availability, right? It pushes the prices up, man. So that's what you're gonna get first. Major inflation. You know, but then when it's gone, it's gone, right? When there's not enough, there's not enough. You know, but before that point, you know, governments will seize and you know, take what is left in the country and ration that. So your access to food is going to be severely limited. All right. So shall my word be that goeth forth out of my mouth. It shall not return unto me void, but it shall accomplish that which I please, and it shall prosper in the thing whereto I sent it. Right. So the Most High, you know, send a curse. He sent a curse, man. It ain't being reversed. Right. And I'm gonna end it with this one. You know, this is good. It's Psalm 78. I'm gonna read from I'm gonna read from verse 42. Right. It says, "They remembered not His hand, nor the day when He delivered them from the enemy." Right. This is speaking, you know, to Israel. No, obviously, right. When Lord was bringing out Egypt, right. And they, you know, they continued doing wickedness even after all the miracles that they saw. Right. It says how He had wrought His signs in Egypt and His wonders in the field of Zoan. Right. The plagues, the judgments, right. They mentioned earlier, right. And had turned their rivers into blood, their floods, that they could not drink. He sent diverse sorts of flies among them, which devoured them, and frogs which destroyed them. He gave also their increase unto the caterpillars, their crops, everything they were growing, everything they were producing. He sent swarms of locusts to yam it up, right? So they couldn't reap it. Right? The increase was theirs. It was the locusts, right? Now that food couldn't go out, it didn't go out to people. It got withdrawn from the system, man. Right? And the Lord's been doing that too. The Lord's been sending locusts into those regions, in Africa and China and that. You know, eating bare food, right? Food that would have gone out up into the global market to feed others, so other nations could buy it. But guess what? It's not on the market. That's why now you're short, and it's not happening just in one place. It's the Most High is getting everybody, man. The Most High is getting everyone, right? China now are holding on to their reserves. They're not putting it on the market, you know. So what now? What are these other nations going to buy? They're not producing enough. They're not producing enough. So where are they going to get their grain from? Where are they going to get, certain staples from? I think it has to do with that, right? This is verse 47. He destroyed their vines with hail. Okay, well, we was just reading about the vine dressers in the article, right? With the hail. Okay, some of their crops last year, like 80% of their crops were destroyed. Right? He destroyed their vines with hail and their sycamore trees with frost. He gave up their cattle also to the hail and their flocks to the hot thunderbolts. Right? So animals were dying because of the cold. Birds getting hit with lightning. Right? All that type of stuff. The Most High is the one causing it all to happen, man. Forget all this, Esau's agendas, right? It's the Most High. Okay, these are not, doings of of global warming and stuff like that. Even though, that's effectively what's happening, but it's the Most High causing it to happen. It's the way the Most High is. He wants it, right? Cause all this destruction, cause the downfall of the society, right? He cast upon them the fierceness of his anger, wrath, and indignation, and trouble by sending evil angels among them. Oh, but I thought the evil angels, they don't work for Heavenly Father, they work for Satan, right? No, the Most High sent them. Most High sent evil angels, and evil just means a bad time. They sent them angels to do evil unto the people, to bring upon them a bad time. And that's exactly what they did. They terrorized them, man. Just like these people out here getting terrorized. And they're going to get more terrorized, man. Lord going to send more angels, more evil angels. Satan's going to be here too doing this thing, man. Lord going to send him. Alright? He made a way to his anger and spared not their soul from death, but gave their life over to the pestilence. Right? So, again, all the plagues that happened, like, bad people died the last couple of years, right? Well, the Lord sent that pestilence, man. Okay, and there's going to be more. Alright? So, like I said, this is all having its effect, its toll on the world right now, okay, to fulfill prophecy, okay, the Most High's word. Alright? So, every time we see something like this, man, we go, yep, that's prophecy. Yeah, that's what's going on right now. Okay, that's correct. That makes sense. Because the scriptures say this. Okay, we know what time we're living in, man. Okay, if you don't know what time you're living in by now, then you probably ain't never gonna see it until it's over, until you're over. Alright? But yeah, we're living in crazy times, man. Yeah, the day of the Lord fast approaches. Alright? With that, I'm gonna say shalom. I hope this is edifying. And I'll catch you brothers and sisters on the next video. Until then, I'll say shalom.